Hello, good evening and welcome to the Final Word. Phoning with me, Majestic, alongside former Premier League striker Troy Deeney. We just watched Arsenal down to St James's Park and getting a win. Played well-created chances, picked up 3 points after scoring 2 late goals, and yes, the winner came from a corner. The big win against Newcastle means that they eat into Liverpool's 5-point lead to give their title hopes a big boost. A lot of happy Gooners on the way home from St James's Park. We want to hear from you. And we still cannot ignore the penalty shouts. Big calls that could have swung it either way. But the Gunners still come away delighted with all 3 points. Meanwhile, Aston Villa feel like a side going places. A 3-1 win over Fulham. Watkins and McGinn delivering again. And suddenly Villa Park is starting to believe. Plenty to debate, plenty to dissect. And with Troy in the studio, you know Arsenal are in the firing line. And it's not just football serving up drama this weekend. The Ryder Cup's been spicy too. And full of tension and needle, and that's just from the spectators. We'll keep you across it through the night. And remember, TalkSport is bigger than ever. You can watch us on your YouTube or smart TV, so come and watch us from our fantastic new studio on the 17th floor here at News UK. But now it's all about you and your views. Call us right now, 03717 22 3344. It's the Final Word with Imagine Troy. That's right, Majestic and Troy Deeney back together once again. The deadliest duo since Wiley and Dizzy Rascal, or Liam and Noel. It's the comeback they all wanted, especially the Arsenal fans, who tonight go home with a big victory, Troy. That's a big statement win.
Yeah, it's a huge win. That's let's call it right. When Liverpool were doing that last week and the weeks before, we were saying that's the winning mentality. So you got to give Arsenal credit. I think it was a game that to and fro. There was big moments. We spoke about it before we came on here. The penalty for me on Gyökeres is a penalty. I don't care whether Pope's got a little touch on that. His knee then stops him from getting onto it, which he probably would have rolled into an empty net. So for me, that was a penalty. I also think Gabriel got away with one as well. Yeah. That one with the hand in the air. I know it touched his leg, but that hand's very, very high in the air with the new rules. But again, Arsenal kept going to the end. I think some of the decisions from Newcastle, Mickey Gray spoke about there, but I think the injury to Livramento forces them to go 5 at the back, forces them to camp in. And Arsenal just kept going. So really, really good. And, you know, I've been there as a player. Gabriel, I thought, was poor today, especially for that first goal for Newcastle. But you nick a winner and no one cares. On to the next one. So all these Arsenal fans that are going to be phoning up, I'm ready for you.
03717 22 3344 is that phone number. And Market Wayne's already done it. Let's go straight away. Now, are we, Wayne?
Hello, boys. You okay?
You must be buzzing.
You're right.
Oh, what a day. What a day.
Great weekend for you, wasn't it, with everyone dropping points?
I'll tell you, and I was sat there watching the game with my brother, and I thought we were going down the same road. I honestly thought we were. It was the same old giving up the big chance, but that's a massive swing, that result.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you see that? Because I was just saying there, I think we look at that right as title winners. That's mentality, winning like that, getting it done when you've not played well, just getting the job done. Is there an air of caution now, though, to not get too over the top?
I think Arsenal of the previous years would have settled for a draw. I think they would have put that much. You could see it when Marino ran off celebrating. Half the team didn't go with him, and I think he realised. And instead of doing his little run around the flag, he ran straight back with the team. So I think that's a big change in us this season.
Yeah. Although Arteta's substitution did look like he tried to shore things up once they got that goal.
The thing is, his substitutions are always going to be under scrutiny because he put Marino on first and then Odegaard on second. If Marino doesn't score, he's going negative. But because he scores, it's a positive change. Listen, the fine lines of being a manager is very, very difficult. I think we have to give Arteta the credit this time because last week he was getting crucified, wasn't he, for being too defensive, and he started with Eze today, and they look miles better. Would you agree, Wayne?
Definitely.
Yeah.
As you say, the calls he made today, they panned off. On another day, we'd be saying the opposite, wouldn't we? So, but yeah, you've got to give him praise when praise is due. So he's still the man for me, anyway.
Brilliant stuff. Thank you very much, Wayne. Let's go to a Newcastle fan. Steve joins us on the Final Word. Steve, disappointed?
Very lads. That probably wasn't my best performance at home, but listen, we're done enough, and I think that penalty decision at the end of absolute just shows the Premier League that big six biased again. There's no way his hand's in the natural position.
No, I completely agree. Yours should have been a penalty. But what did you think of the Gyökeres one in the first half?
I'll be totally honest. At first, I thought it was a penalty, but on looking at it, Pope gets his foot in and he can't move anywhere else. Wins the ball. Gyökeres runs into him. So, probably won them 50-50.
So both should have been penalties.
Probably won it. As a defending team, I'm happy with Pope what he's done. But the second one, Gabriel, absolutely undefensible. I think the Premier League need to come out and admit that as well.
Yeah, Steve, I just want to ask. You mentioned Nick Pope there. He has the ball just before that, before the corner that he ends up flapping at. He's just got to have a little bit of game management there, a little bit of nous. He tries to set Elanga away. It's 4v1 in Arsenal's favour. Turns the ball over, and then compounds that error by trying to come out and win a ball he can never get. Are you looking at him now as to like his part of the reason why you lost today?
I mean, that's harsh considering the saves he did make.
Yeah, I agree, but games are won in small moments, right?
They are, yeah. But if you look at that ball he's kicked out as well at the end that you're talking about, there is a little pull on his arm as well. That probably goes another way. If that's David Raya, he probably gets that foul at the Emirates. So again, it's coming up every week where these big clubs seem to get away with it. But look, the lads, they've put a good shift in. Walter Matthys took his goal well. Gabriel's soft again, claiming for fouls. Arsenal constantly, little hands on the back, on the floor, looking for pens, looking for fouls. They're just constant. And Arteta needs reined in. He's constantly out the box. He's constantly on the pitch. He needs reined in him. He really does. He's spoiling the game for most.
Do you think, the changes on 65 minutes? Because I thought there were strange changes, but Is Eddie looking ahead to Wednesday? And because you don't have Visser available at the moment, you've got a few injuries, is he happy to manage the load of a Gordon? Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. Potentially is, yeah. But I think you've got to manage that with what you've got, And I wouldn't 100% wouldn't blame Eddie Howe for that today. I know there's some Newcastle fans on X and they do, but I think they're silly personally.
Yeah.
Probably some of them haven't played the game. But you've got to manage what you've got.
Yeah, big game this week.
Probably cost with big games, and I'm proud of the lads today. They've done a good job of what they had. Few decisions, but Arsenal probably were stronger. You do hold your hands up, and they were probably the stronger team. But I would have liked to get something from it, and probably the decisions from the VAR ref probably cost me personally. But,
brilliant, cool. Thank you very much, Steve, the Newcastle fan there. Listen. Newcastle fans, are you disappointed with that one? And Arsenal fans, gone to St James's Park, a place notoriously difficult for you, and got the job done. Walking away from St James's Park this evening tonight, that long journey home.
That'll be positive.
There's going to be a lot of Arsenal. I've got a lot of friends who've made the journey up as well. Are you walking away from St James's Park tonight, seeing Liverpool drop points yesterday, seeing the way and the manner that you won? And again, me and Troy will hold our hands up when we say people get the late winners, and that's what champions do. Is that the feeling you get tonight? That tonight, especially at St James's Park, a place where you've gone time after time when you've needed results and failed. Tonight, you didn't fail. You got the 3 points. Arsenal, title contenders for sure. But does tonight's result push you even further on with that belief?
On AM, on DAB, via the TalkSport app and on your smart speaker. TalkSport.